The 2004 CRF80 is done. Here's a quick recap of some things that happened since the last video. After the front sprocket showed up, we were ready to put the chain on, so I went ahead and strung that through the sprockets, and then I put the master link on, clipped it in place, gave it some spins, and it seemed to be really smooth and perfect. After the chain was on, I wanted to start the bike while the wheel was up to kind of make sure that it was running okay. Luckily, my brother Brian was there to help and give me some pro tips. I hear the best way to check the chain tension is just put your fingers, you scared me. At that point we had a bike that could roll and run, and I couldn't resist the urge to fire it up and take it up the driveway, even though it was still only halfway put back together. Dude, I keep reaching for the brakes, but I don't have any brakes. Here, you try. Alright. I grabbed the new foam filter, I oiled it up with that filter oil stuff, smushed it in there nice and evenly, got that blue tone in there. I played with the oil residue afterwards like I always do. Put the foam filter on the metal filter body and then popped it in the bike. At that point all the plastics were ready to come on. Started with the seat and fender, then I bolted the side plastics on. I grabbed the heat gun to heat up the rear fender a little bit so I could straighten it so it wasn't pointing down, and that worked pretty good. I bolted the front fender on, and then the front number plate, and then I took those ridiculous stickers off, which to my delight I found that they came off quite easily, so there wasn't a lot of residue to clean up. I put the chain guard and all the chain sliders and guides on. Then I took the bike outside to shine up the rims a little bit. My dad taught me a trick where you can get some steel wool on that chrome finish and rub off rust and corrosion pretty easily, so it gave it a nice shine when I was done. After cleaning up the rims a little bit, I just did some final glossing up of the seat and a little more detailed cleaning in some areas. And before I knew it, it was ready to go. Now with little bikes like this, I find the most joy in sharing it with other people. It's the perfect size for adults to learn to ride on, learn to deal with the clutch, and it's great for taking kids around the yard. So as soon as it was done, I called up my brother, asked if we could take it to his house and ride around with his kids and break it in a little bit. And it ran like a champion. The bike itself cost $350. Here's a quick list of all of the parts I bought for it. Front brake cable, front sprocket, front wheel bearings, flywheel cover, intake valve, air filter, drive chain, engine gasket kit, piston kit, carb rebuild kit, and engine cylinder. Adding it up, the bike and parts alone cost about $698. I've been careful to keep a close eye on classifieds in the state to see what these older Honda 80s are going for. I've noticed that consistently the 2006 and earlier years of Honda 80s, and that's the CRF80s and the XR80s, are going for a little bit over $1,000. So I think it was absolutely worth it. I've got a bike that I can play with all summer, share with friends and family, and then sell maybe next year for a little bit more than all the amount I've got into it right now. Now that this little Honda's done, the next project is either going to be this KTM 250SX or this YZ250F. That's something I'm gonna have to think about and choose for the next little series.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Now, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No.